Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic New Year's Eve so far. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering 4 different promises made by President Joe Biden upon entering office to Social Security. One of these promises, if fulfilled, would raise benefits for some people by as much as $485 per month. So we're going to be covering all 4 of these promises made by the president. Plus, political tensions seem to be reaching an all-time high after some recent swatting events. And I'm going to be going over why I don't think tensions are really going to be getting any lower anytime soon, at least moving forward in 2024. But before I go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive at least $60 or more in free stocks or $60 or more in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you got to do is once you click on that link is open up a free account, deposit at least 1 penny, and then at that point, Webull is going to be sending you 20 stocks for free. Each stock is going to be worth at least $3. And if you'd rather just have the cash at this point in time, all you have to do is sell those stocks for what they're worth and then transfer the $60 or more right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story for today's video, of course, political tensions are reaching an all-time high here at home, unfortunately. And of course, we have those recent states who have been kicking Trump off the ballot, Maine being one of them. And because the Secretary of State there in Shannon Bellis decided to kick Trump off the ballot, obviously that really rubbed Republicans the wrong way. And because of that, we had one person decide to call in, I guess like a fake call, and say that something bad was happening in her house. And so, of course, they had a lot of law enforcement raid her home, otherwise known as swatting, and obviously she was not too happy about that. And this has really been an ongoing issue. We recently had 4 Republicans' homes swatted as well. So according to The Hill, the home of Maine Secretary of State Shannon Bellis was swatted on Friday, making her the latest victim in a string of such incidents. Bellis says she's become the victim of a series of threats in the wake of her decision to remove former President Trump from the ballot under the 14th Amendment on Friday. She said, quote, "We were not home yesterday when the threats escalated and our home address was posted online," Bellis wrote in a Saturday Facebook post. "It was a good thing because our home was swatted last night. That's when someone calls in a fake emergency to evoke a strong law enforcement response to scare the target. Swatting incidents have resulted in casualties, although thankfully this one did not." Now, Bellis, of course, condemned the behavior that she says is affecting her and her employees. She said, quote, "This behavior is unacceptable. The nonstop threatening communications the people who work for me endured all day yesterday is unacceptable. It's designed to scare not only me, but also others into silence to send a message," she wrote. And, you know, she's definitely exactly right there. I mean, you may not agree with her removing Trump from the ballot. I certainly don't. But that doesn't mean to put her life in danger. Whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, if someone disagrees with your views, it doesn't mean that you should call law enforcement, have their home swatted, and possibly putting their life in danger. We definitely need to be better than that as a country. No matter what your views are, doesn't mean that you should try to inflict harm on the other side who just has different viewpoints than you do. Now, Bellis is the latest in a string of politicians who have been targeted this week. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Senator Rick Scott, and Representative Brandon Williams were among those who were recent victims of the increasingly problematic trend. Scott said, quote, "Last night while at dinner with my wife, cowards, quote, swatted my home in Naples, and these criminals wasted the time and resources of our law enforcement in a sick attempt to terrorize my family." Now, I don't know exactly what the punishment is for calling in like a fake report and then causing someone's home to be swatted, but this definitely needs to be taken more seriously. It seems like this behavior is ramping up, not just on politicians, but other public figures. And, you hate to see it. Not only is it just, a sick move, a waste of time for law enforcement going on these calls when they could be elsewhere, but it also puts these people's lives in danger. And once again, whether you're a Republican or whether you're independent or Democrat, doesn't matter what your views are. You should not, have your life in danger because of your own viewpoints. And again, you may not like the fact that Trump is being removed from the ballot. I don't think any candidate should be removed from the ballot. We live in a democracy. I think people can decide for themselves whether they want Trump or whether they want Biden. We don't have to go out and remove candidates from the ballot and just, it's a terrible situation, but again, we should not be having people's homes swatted. And of course, 2024, moving forward, I really don't see tensions getting any lower. We have the election coming up in November. That's less than 1 year away. We have half the country who hates Trump, half the country who hates Biden. Is either side going to admit defeat if their candidate loses? I really don't think so. I think we're probably going to have riots in the street. Specifically, if Trump ends up winning, I think we're going to have probably more riots than if Biden wins. But either way, I think tensions are only going to get higher in 2024. But let me know what your thoughts and comments are below. Where do you see our country in, let's say, like 5 to 10 years? Do you think tensions are going to get any lower in this country, or do you think they're just going to continue getting higher and we're just going to see more of a divide within our citizens of this country? Now, in some other news, of course, as in the main title of today's video, Joe Biden entered office. He had 4 promises for Social Security beneficiaries. None of these promises he's actually fulfilled, and he hasn't really pushed for any of these things to happen. But granted, we still have 1 year left, so let's go ahead and give him 1 more year, see if he can get them done. Let's go ahead and go over the 4 promises. Now, one of the promises not mentioned in this article by Yahoo Finance is that he said for people on SSI, he was going to raise benefits for them by $200 per month. Hasn't exactly done so, but we're going to be going over the 4 other promises. So the first promise is that he was going to implement payroll tax for income over $400,000. So currently, any earned income below $160,200 is subject to a 12.4% payroll tax. Earnings exceeding that amount are not subject to OASI taxes. Biden plans to tax earned income above $400,000, leaving wages from $160,200 up to $400,000 untaxed. Now, if he were to do that, that would allow for a lot of increases and other things to take place within Social Security, because that would bring more money into the trust fund. It would also make it so the insolvency date would no longer be 2033. Mostly, Republicans are against this idea because they do not want to implement new taxes on Americans, even if it is for those earning $400,000 or more every single year. The second change he wants to make is to change the way COLA increases are calculated. So right now we use something called the CPIW. He wants to change it over to the CPIE because on a year-to-year basis, the CPIE is usually a little bit higher, which means that the cost of living adjustments every single year might be a little bit higher as well. This wouldn't be a huge impact, but let's say like over 10 to 20 years, it would definitely be a significant difference. The third change he wants to make is to increase the primary insurance amount. So the primary insurance amount is a figure indicating how much money you'll receive in Social Security benefits depending on the age you begin claiming benefits and your average indexed monthly earnings. Increasing the PIA for Americans aged 78 to 82 would help those experiencing rising expenses such as healthcare later on in life. So basically, you would receive a little bit of an increase from the age of 78 up to 82. I believe the total increase would be 5% by the time you reach the age of 82. And this would just help offset some of the rising costs, such as in healthcare, as you get a little bit older. And then finally, the last change, according to this article, that Biden promised to make when he entered office back in 2021 was to increase the special minimum benefit for lifetime lower wage workers. So low wage earners receive a special minimum benefit regardless of how much they made while they worked. In 2023, a lifetime low earning worker would receive just $12,402 in Social Security benefits annually, or $1,033.50 per month. Biden intends to increase the minimum benefit to 125% of the federal poverty level for an individual. As an example, in 2023, someone receiving the special minimum benefit would receive $1,518.75 per month with this boost. So that would work out to an increase of right around $485 per month if this were to be implemented. Remember here, right now, in 2023, if you receive the special minimum benefit, you are just receiving $1,033 per month. However, if they made this change, that increase would be up to $1,518 per month. Obviously, this would be very significant if this move were to be made. We see this in a couple of different bills in Congress, but we really don't see Joe Biden out there pushing for these changes like he is for other things such as student loan forgiveness, such as like his Build Back Better plan, such as his infrastructure plan, such as everything else. We don't really see him pushing for Social Security reform, but he does have 1 year left to make this happen. We'll see what he does, but that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Have a happy and safe New Year's ahead. Be safe, take care of your family, have a great time, and I will see you in the next video.